Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently working our way through protectionism here, and we're colonizing out over this way. How long before we're out of space in the Nile region? Let's see here. Strategic regions. Okay, that's a little bit more space than I thought there was. Cool. So we can move all the way up into Darfur. Assuming that they are... Okay, Darfur is an unrecognized power. We would need to fight our way into Darfur. Noted. So we can definitely get these colonized, but these guys are an unrecognized power. We'll have to move in that way. Okay, no problem whatsoever there. We are currently working on our explosives situation here, and that'll be done fairly soon. Overall, economically, I think things are going really, really well at this moment. Our peasant count, or rather our peasant plus unemployment count, is dropping. Whoa, protectionism just passed. Okay. I didn't actually expect that to just straight up go through. Cool, that was good luck. Do we want to make the landowners happy with this? They're at +4 right now. If time runs out, they'll be at -5. Honestly, I don't care about that. The landowners can be a little bit upset, I think. So, what do we want to go for? We're in a contested government right now. We would not be better off to change that around in terms of our legitimacy. What do we want to work on for laws? Well, being off of isolationism is a big deal. No doubt about that. But note that that does put us at -550 authority. I think that's okay. -7 opposition interest group approval, of course, obviously we have to do something about. But the reason why I think that that's okay is because we can drop our promotion of social mobility. I think that this is no longer, strictly speaking, necessary. Now that we're up over 50% literacy, and now that we have at least religious schools, it's better, right? It's not great, but it's better. We would certainly like to move our way over towards, like... public schools. We need empiricism for that. How far away are we from empiricism as a hypothetical? Let's see. Where is empiricism? It's right here. It's actually being spread to us right now. 6 to 7 months away. Okay. Now that's interesting. I think this is absolutely fine then. Cool. So we're probably going to see a drop-off in our literacy increase rate. So that's not the best thing in the world, but I think it'll still be going up. And yeah, we can see here it's definitely moving over. We'll see how that goes. -17K right now. Are we currently pulling out of our construction? Okay, we're not pulling... Actually, we are, aren't we? Yeah, 16K from our construction pool. It's because all of these guys were upset. I'm pretty sure. Let's see what that goes to here. 17K. What are the landowners at now? They are at +4 again? Sure. Seems reasonably fine. What's less fine is this current financial situation here, but we can deal with it. This is a manageable situation. So yeah, it seems okay. I like it. So these tobacco plantations are going to be done. We'll keep an eye on this situation here. Livestock ranches, tooling workshops, furniture manufactories. Yeah, all of that is reasonably fine. Explosives are still considered expensive. There's a hardwood shortage, or there was one very briefly. We might want to move up what few logging camps we have in here. Yeah, that's pretty much all we've got there. Okay, we'll get those moved up. That seems fine. Continuing to colonize our way out over this way. And we cannot currently attack Arabia. We cannot currently attack these guys down over here due to a lack of interests. However, we can set up a new interest now, can't we? Because of isolationism. I'm pretty certain that we can. So if we go into our diplomacy and... No, we cannot. That's interesting. Apparently because we're an unrecognized regional power? Fascinating. Previously it was telling us it was because of isolationism, but now it's saying because we're an unrecognized power. Okay, well, we'll work on that for sure. I would love to get a law change done here. What would we want to go for? Ideal scenario would be changing our religious schools probably over into public schools, or going into compulsory primary school. That would be really, really good. We would need human rights for that, and I think we're a ways away from human rights at this point. If I recall correctly, that's down here. Yes. Yeah, that's quite a ways away. So for now, that's not going to be a thing. Cool. Well, we do have some logging camps being constructed here. I'm noticing... Oh, hello. Apparently we had a logging camp in Equatoria being built here, and that signaled me that we probably have a couple here that can be overall built. And I think we'll just get those done as quickly as we can. We're at minus 20k right now. Iron is still a big part of this. No doubt about that. Government wages are a lot as well. Administrations and universities, which is to be expected. Taxation capacity here. That's the problem. Did changing to to protectionism from isolationism change our taxation capacity? It did. Okay, that's good to know. I did not realize that. Fantastic. So we need some 10 here. We need 8 here. Not 9. 8. And we need 5 here. Everything else is fine for the moment. I do want to work on these relatively quickly here. I want to intersperse some of these that we've already put some effort into and just get those done. So we'll do something along the lines of this, although this is going to be a little tedious because we can't drag and drop. I really wish that we could, but alas, that is not a thing that we can do. So we'll bring these on up about like so. Cool. And we'll get that working. So we're at minus 21k right now. I want to check in on our infrastructure real quick. Infrastructure is fine. No problem there. Good. So that is absolutely excellent. And we're going to work through these relatively quickly here. It's not going to be perfect in terms of the interspersal, but it'll be fine. So we're going to work on that. And yeah, our unrealized taxes are currently 8k of this. That's certainly not the whole thing, but that is part of it. So that's okay. We're going to be fine for now. We can run this for another 15 or so weeks before we have to pause before we go into debt. I mean, we don't have to pause, but before we can pause before we go into debt. So that seems okay for now. I think this is fine. Yeah, should be okay. Are we going to go a little bit into debt? Maybe. Market access also dropped off? That's probably the rest of it. It seems to be coming back up. Infrastructure we know is not a problem. So why is the market access actually low here? Connected to the British market via British shipping lane through the ports of home counties and Kenya, with market access reduced to 83% due to low shipping lane effectiveness. Is Britain in... Oh, yeah. Britain is in some sort of a war. That's... War against Egypt. That's interesting. I wish we had known that they were doing that. I should have seen it up here, I think, but I would have liked to join in for the rest of Eritrea. I think I missed it up here is my guess. But that is the reason why our market access is low. That's hurting our economy right now. So that seems reasonably fine. I think this is a manageable situation, absolutely. We're about 4 weeks away from running out of gold reserves at this moment, and that is when these two government administrations are going to finish. Landowners are now officially happy. They're not going to be as happy after this, but it's only minus 5 interest group approval. So, yeah, I think this is okay. We let that go. No problem there. So we're going to finish these two government administrations, and then we'll pause our construction for a little bit. Now, what does that put us at? 21.7? Definitely not as high as I would have liked it to be. But we'll come out of debt here. I just don't want to be paying too much interest. Keep in mind, we are still constructing this logging camp. We are still establishing this colony. Do we want to work up any institutions here? Actually, colonial affairs is something we could do. I don't really want to work up law enforcement at this time, but we certainly could work up colonial affairs and make this even faster by another 50%. So that's not bad at all. Yeah, it's mostly this market access that's the problem. There's a rubber shortage in the British market. Sadly, there's nothing that we can do about that. Okay. I'm going to resume construction here. The question is, when is this war with Egypt going to be over? Relatively soon. I really wish that we could have participated. Well, we could have, I think. I really wish that I had noticed and that we went in for Eritrea. That would have been great. But alas, I did not notice it. If we notice it again, we will definitely look to get the rest of Eritrea from Egypt. Absolutely. That is something we want. Do we want to go into debt here? I think it might be worth it. Our market access is continually dropping because our access to the British Empire is via Egypt. That's all to be expected. So I'm not too concerned about that. I think we continue to construct here. We let it go into debt while our market access is dropping. After the war, we can evaluate whether we want to pay off the debt or not. I think that's the way this is going to go here. Now, I'd love to get a law change going. The question is, are there any that we really can do? We would need to change our government, I think. Hang on. We can ban slavery. That'll radicalize the landowners. Okay. So for the moment, with this going on, that would almost certainly create a civil war. I want to do this. But it'll almost certainly create a civil war. Do we think we can beat the civil war? That is a question that we have to ask. In our current economic state, potentially not. Especially not with Britain currently busy. Can we coattail this war? Hang on. Is this a thing we can do? We're currently amicable with them, but if we were to look at this and we were to do Eritrea, conquer state, we'd face Egypt and Oman. The British Republic may join either side or remain neutral. We would absolutely need the British Republic to join us in this, right? But they're already fighting. Can they even do that? I don't know if that's even allowed based on the game rules. Let's make a save here and find out. We're going to revert to this save no matter what. I want to know the rules behind this. So the way that we would have to do this is we would have to expel diplomats, damage relations. I'm going to take us up to speed 5 here. And we're going to damage these relations down. Again, we're going to revert back to that save. Guaranteed. So all we're going to do is bring this down until we're no longer cordial, which we can see here we're about 2/3 of the way to. And while we're doing this, we can also check to see if this would... I don't want to check to see, actually. I was going to say we could check to see if this was going to be a civil war and how bad. I don't want to know that. I'm checking specifically a game rule here, not how things will react, okay? So that's a different set. So I want to conquer Eritrea. And as a hypothetical, can the British Republic even join? We have no sway that they would accept. We might have to toggle over to them to see if they can do this. They have no use for an obligation from us. So they wouldn't actually ever do this, in theory. But I want to know, we're going to switch over to the British Republic here. I want to know if we even can. Because they're currently in another war, right? So in this war, it looks like they can. That's fascinating. They're also running a big deficit, but that's not really relevant. So we're going to reload the save that we just made, right? Absolutely. I just wanted to know if that was even a possibility. They're not going to do it because they have a lot of reasons not to. But it's interesting that it's a possibility. Okay, so cool. We're back here, and that's absolutely fine. Double-checking achievements are enabled. Fantastic. So now that we know that that's a thing, that's great. Our main problem economically is our market access, right? We're having a hard time getting to the British market via Egypt. They're at war. That makes sense. Once this war is over, it'll be fine. Britain is apparently actually losing this war. Apparently. Interesting. France, Russia, Hejaz. Okay, I'm glad we're not in the war. I'm very glad we're not in that war then. If France and Russia are against Britain, yeah, we'll pass on that one. Cool. So at this point, we could potentially think about exiting the British market. I don't think that's a good idea at this moment. So that's definitely interesting to note. The question then comes down to, do we want to look to ban slavery? It's an option. If we want to fight a civil war over it, anyway, it's an option. The landowners are going to be very, very upset about it. What is their current approval looking like? They oppose a recent change from isolationism. They strongly oppose homesteading, but they endorse basically everything else we have. 28% of the interest group is loyalist as well. 57.2K is all of their population. They're only 1.8%. But they are 23.2% of the clout. So the question becomes, if we do this, what states would secede? That indeed becomes the question. I would love to ban slavery here, to be clear. And it would, in theory, go pretty quick with a 40% chance. We're going to try it. The landowners are going to be really upset about it. Like, really upset. Dynamite! Cool. Okay, so with dynamite unlocked, we're going to hop over here, and now that dynamite is unlocked instead of nitroglycerin, we're going to jump directly down to dynamite. Fantastic. Now, we're going to need more explosives, almost certainly, and we'll look into that. Let's see, we are turned up here, so that's not anything that we need to be worried about at this moment. The real question is, how bad does this get? Right? That's the real question. And what do we want to work on for our next tech? Now that we have dynamite done, we could simply go for, like, reinforced concrete to get additional throughput from our existing construction sectors. I think that that's not a terrible idea. And what is the price of explosives? It shouldn't have affected it that much from us switching over. Yeah, this is a British market, so that should be fine. Our economy is really suffering from this war that Britain is doing. No doubt about that. But the war will end soon. Okay, so as expected, there is this radicalism of 141. So who all is going to secede if they do this? Okay, so it's going to be Somaliland and only Somaliland? Is that correct? This is fine. I don't think we care about Somaliland going into rebellion. Yes, that's our primary source of iron. This is true. What are we at for, okay, minus 2.43k right now if we stop our construction? We absolutely should stop our construction here. Okay. Now we're hoping to get our market access back soon. Hopefully this war ends fairly soon. Now it's a 44% risk for Somaliland, but it'll be Amhara. Now they're just kind of swapping back and forth. I don't think either of those really matter. Even if both of them rebel, it should be fine. Gold discovered in Tasmania, sure. We're continuing to expand out over this way. And that's currently volatile. So we could have a we could have a native uprising brewing up out over here. We'll see. This is still at 0%. Fascinating. 2 weeks until next checkpoint. 25% progress will be added at that checkpoint. Okay. That should be fine. I don't think there's a problem here. The Rebels Doctor. So change of Civil War progress by minus 5%. That would save us a week. Or rather, not a week. Academics pops who become more radical. 20% or 2%? We take the 2% in all of Ethiopia, probably. Cool. So that saves us a checkpoint. Seems fine. Now the next question is, how many troops do we actually have? 19 and 45. They're going to be taking 9 of those. So that's roughly a little bit under half there. Empiricism was just unlocked. Magnificent. We can work up our education institution investment now, and we definitely will do so. Cool. So that's looking reasonably fine. Yes, we're going to have a civil war here, but I think it's okay. Knowledge of banking is spreading to us. Now, what we really need is for this war to end, right? We really, really do need this war to end. Britain is going to be ending it eventually. The Great Molasses Flood. Sure. So this checkpoint is going to be fairly soon. We've got a 40% chance on passing into consideration here. And the landowners at this point are going to be very upset, right? I think there's no doubt about that. Is this going to just go away if they have a revolution before then, though? I think it might. So that should be reasonably fine. When you have a hammer... -2 armed forces, interest group approval forever? Okay. We'll roll this and see how it goes. Went back up to 50. That's fine. We kind of want this war to happen. We'll see if Somaliland decides to secede. There's a 40% risk there. We knew that this would be radicalized, though. Absolutely. Electricity input goods shortage. What is lacking electricity? Apparently I need to sneeze. Okay, that's exciting. An urban center in Jamaica. In the British market. Okay, I don't actually care about that. That's not relevant to us. Fantastic. So we are, plantation proponents are publicizing policies. -10% chance or 75% chance of +15% chance. We'll take that. Unfortunate that it didn't pass directly into consideration, but that's fine. We're now at a 55% chance there. And this revolution is going to be interesting. I think that we'll be absolutely fine. One thing we could do is think about building some additional barracks in our capital region. Something like that. Only 5. And we're going to build just those. Nothing else, just those. For the time being. So we'll get those done, and that will boost up our troop presence a decent amount. Any moment now. There we go. Okay, so we get those completed, and they will start working up their jobs at this moment. Beautiful. So that'll give us some extra battalions there. Colonial Affairs investment has gone up. That's nice. Heavy-handedness, huh? Increasing the Civil War progress by 5% or reducing it by 5%. Done. That will save us another tick here. So it's not going to be next tick now. It's going to be the one after. So that's great. This is currently a 47% chance for Somaliland to secede. But even if Amhara and Somaliland secede, that should be fine. Now, we are probably going to need 2 generals for this front out over here. And then this front here. That should be one unified front. So that's okay. Yeah, that seems completely fine. So we got these extra barracks here. Those are going to be filled up fairly soon. We should probably consider turning up our military wages at least to here. Just so that those fill up a little bit faster. Let's see what that does here. 5.7, that's 300. That's probably good enough for now, to be honest. Opium input goods shortage. I don't care about that. Okay. So let's see what happens here. These guys are very upset about this, and that's fine. Honestly. I don't care. They can be upset if they like. We're going to get our conscripts raised up for sure. Question. With this rebelling, can we delete these? No. Okay. Paradox saw that coming. Good. So yeah, they're at 95% right now. 50-50 of it happening there? Or a 66% chance here. Our men are professionals. They can maintain discipline. Okay, cool. So it's going to be next tick. It's also time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to fight the Civil War and ban slavery. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, and Lohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kintogan, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.